Let me explain you how, by the practice of meditation or by accomplishing the understanding of what we call non-duality, you can actually heal heartbreak forever. So this is not the regular solution for heartbreak. We have a lot of songs and movies about it. But there is some crucial points to making here. So first thing, let me thank you, Anamika, for requesting this topic. I find it most interesting because it's practical, at the same time has a lot of value, I hope, for many people. And it's deep. And it's very much related to what we discuss all the time in here. So first thing, you always need an open mind for this one. Because what we normally think of a heartbreak is, by its definition, is something that I have, something that is hurting in me. And just the definition, your heart broken. You look at it and you will see that your heart is actually not broken, right? We can agree on that. It's just an expression. A very interesting and poetic and emotional one. And it's great. I love that. We all love that. That's why we have all these songs and all these movies. It's so interesting. But there's already a problem by thinking that there is something broken in you. Do you see where I'm going? What if, and this can be already cut the root of the problem. What if you stop believing there is something broken in you? Because it's an activity. The heartbreak sensation is created by an activity of your mind, of thinking certain things in certain ways. So even when you won't figure out everything about it, you can certainly understand that it is happening because there's something in you that is resisting. There is a thought that says, no, this shouldn't happen. This couldn't have happened. And so on. All this certain kind of line of thoughts and scenarios we create in our mind. And that is what is actually hurting. So meditation, meaning by the practice of taming your crazy mind, relaxing, resting, will actually already solve the problem by not feeding the problem. You can dry it out. But I understand this will feel a little, unless you have enough practice with meditation, it will feel difficult to approach this topic. You can certainly try by focusing on the sensations in your body and look for that emotion that is creating so much trouble. Because let's say the relationship is done already, maybe everything's gone some way, and yet you have that hurt in your body, right? So exploring and researching that sensation will give you a lot of freedom, because at some point you will realize that it's just a damn sensation in your body, like it would be that your shoe is too tight. And of course you solve it, but we don't make a huge drama because our shoes are too tight and it feels uncomfortable. You just do something about it and it goes away. The same way, that sensation in our heart, that is way more complicated than the example of the shoe, of course, but it is doing the same thing with our mind. There's something we are doing with our mind that is actually creating that problem. So you are actually as beautiful and free and as you have ever been before that, let's say, that relationship that created that feeling in your body. It's just our mind, our thinking about it, that makes it hurt. Otherwise, if you would be able to relax your mind enough, that's where I suggest you to practice many different kinds of meditation. You will notice progressively that you can let go at least of the intensity. Well, if you get serious about meditation and you really are able to let go of all these patterns, you will see how the whole thing dissolves, even when you weren't thinking about heartbreak. Everything just. And I'm sorry if this sounds simple. I understand it may take time, it may take a lot of practice, but it's important that I emphasize and empower people to actually know that's the way you finally solve that problem in your life. And you will feel very much empowered because you will realize that now you're free to love, actually. You're not afraid of being hurt anymore because you know how to manage the situation, let's say. You understand, okay, yeah, when it hurts, you can feel it, you can embrace it, you can love your heartbreak, love yourself. And this brings me to the next point, which is there is the reason why all this trouble happened is because there is something in our mind that is very much wrong about close to everything in life. And that's why we suffer. So in this specific topic, the problem that we have in our mind, or the misunderstanding we have in our mind, is that we receive love from other people. You have never in your life ever received love from someone else, ever. That's the illusion the mind creates. And you may think that's a strange comment to make, but I promise you, if you really follow me on this, it can be incredibly liberating for every relationship. Because basically, you've been told that you need other people's love. And that makes you a beggar, a desperate person. Because we are craving people's attention and we are craving, no, but that's not true. When someone loved you and you felt, oh, yes, that wasn't the love of the person. It looked like that, I know. But it was something in you that created it. So it was more like a relaxation, like, oh, I don't have to look for love. Oh, now someone cares for me. And then you relax. But it was the fact that you relax that actually made you feel like that. Not that someone else with all their love in their hearts tried to do something for you and you suddenly you feel, oh, I feel this love. No, that never happened. And there's a great peace that comes from understanding this, because we have established, at least, just follow me on this, how you don't really physiologically, energetically really receive love from anyone. And I know many people talk like that. These people have negative energy. But that's just a way of talking, maybe useful sometimes, but it's really actually not the case. In the sense that you are not a victim of what's around you. It just doesn't matter what other people do. The only thing that matters is what you do. By doing, I mean the perspective you take from your mind and the actions that come with that. So let me go back to the point that I was making. So first thing, you have never received love from anyone in your life. Very important, probably the most important thing to it. That's the ultimate illusion, that we receive our happiness, our love from the outside. That never happened. Whenever you felt love, it was you. And that's the part that started becoming very exciting, because if you pay attention when you love something casual, maybe you love ice cream, maybe you love watching a movie on Friday, maybe, I don't know, whatever thing everybody always like at least some stuff. Just think about that thing. Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that. Think about how it happens. There's an opening in you. And for a second, actually to have the experience of love, your mind sort of stops or goes to the background and you feel it. Well, the good news that I have for you is that feeling is your nature. It is always there. If you would be able to put your mind in the background more consistently. And actually, this is a natural consequence of releasing your mind through meditation, through non-dual understanding, do whatever way you like, through compassion. By doing so, you will find yourself, actually, you're just giving all the time, because there is an unlimited resource of love available to you. It is not something you ask from the outside to give you. That is the illusion. You only give it. And it doesn't matter what the other person or the whole thing, how it goes. It just doesn't matter. Once you realize that you have the power to feel love every day at any given moment. You can go from appreciating your life, having a gratitude journal or something like that. I never did a gratitude journal. Well, I tried, but it didn't feel natural to me. But appreciating this, appreciating for me, for example, the opportunity to make this video and maybe hopefully bring some understanding and making you understand that how powerful you are. And that has been there all the time. You don't want to find this too late in your life. You want to do whatever you have to do to reorganize your mind in a way that this makes sense. And you start experiencing on a day-to-day basis. You give love. And by giving love, you feel love. So the love you feel is the love you give. It is not the love you take. It's not the love someone gives you love. And I know this may feel abstract, but I'm talking about, of course, being a human, had relationships and having relationships actually. And I remember I had a very huge, well, a couple of them, but a very huge heartbreak. And what happened to me was that I sort of tapped into the natural wisdom that you have. And I had. For some reason, I was open for it. And I just felt so wrong to feel so bad when the world was so beautiful. And I realized what I'm actually telling you, that what I wanted is to love. It's not really to be loved. It's to love. So in my specific case, I start relying, okay, beyond the intimate aspect of love, but I could love my friends. I could love my family. I could love everything, right? And I did that. And you know what? Actually, my friends thought there was something wrong with me. Like I was in denial because it heals so quickly. I was so happy so quickly, so steady that it looked awkward from the outside. It was a great revelation to me, obviously. But I just realized, I discovered I could just love and feel love if you want all the time. And you can nurture, think about everyone that is in your life. It just doesn't matter if it's the mailman, just a smile, just a full-hearted wishing people to feel good. Just start giving yourself away, and you will realize that you give. But the more you give, the more you have. It was an illusion of being stuck. That was the problem. And I understand this may take some time for some of you. It took time for me too. I was in a dramatic situation, so I had to be quicker. Otherwise, the suffering was unbearable. So hopefully you find also that motivation. It hurts. You need to find a solution for it. And the solution I'm suggesting you is that we misunderstand love and what love is and how love grows in your experience. It doesn't grow in your experience because other people give you their love. That's an illusion we have because we relax when we have people's attention. But that's the trap that I wanted to be free from. You give love, and that's the love you feel. Go and try it, and hopefully you write in the comments if this is working for you. And again, I'm hopefully not making it look too easy. I don't mean that it's easy, because you have to sort of compensate for many years of thinking the other way around. And most likely, most people around you are not going to agree with what I'm saying. So it's okay if it takes you some time, but you're certainly going to succeed with this because it's your nature. I'm not really telling you to do something. I'm giving you the courage to rest on knowing that all the love that you're looking for is already there for you. And if you would relax deep enough and you would at least give it a try to test how it feels to consider that actually love is there all the time. It is there. You maybe fine tune yourself out of it with your mind. That's why if you're hurting with a heartbreak, it's so important that you review every belief you have in your mind. The first one, thinking that you need people to feel love. That is not true. And I'm not saying to go lonely in life. I'm talking about just not being desperate. Because this is obviously, it's already very unsexy, right? You will find someone in a bar and that person is kind of like looking for, it just looks like, oh my God. It looks already, there's something strange about it. Like when someone asks you for money on the street, there's something, okay, let me think about what's happening. Why is this person so desperate? So if you're desperate for love, you're certainly going to be pushing it away from you because you are just closing it from you and imagine it outside of yourself. So what I'm suggesting you is to do the contrary, to rest, to trust. And hopefully, if you rest deep enough, you're going to start finding the same love you had as a child when we just running around and you were loving everything. So easy for a kid to love everything. In general, you know what I mean. Kids also going through, they also have their minds and their little egos, so they also get into trouble. I'm talking about the natural, spontaneous, wow, oh yeah. Try to walk back home today with a different path. Go unexpected and open your eyes. And suddenly you may find yourself, maybe start growing as a curiosity in you. Well, that's an interesting tree I never see before. I like the colors. And little by little, you nurture that. And I understand this may sound simple, but probably most of us have to deliberate practice it. That's what, although ultimately you're not doing anything, you're not creating your love or your happiness. Yes, but the truth being said is that for anyone, doesn't matter the Buddha, Jesus Christ, any enlightened being you will bring, they've been through a process. That's the part that hopefully I'm making the difference with some non-dual challenges. That non-doership is such a, there's so many misunderstandings about it. So yes, I'm suggesting you to change your mind. That's what I'm suggesting you. And you in the day-to-day may have to do not only about that specific relationship where you feel heartbroken. I'm saying that heartbroken is way deeper than a relationship. It's your relationship with yourself that you're missing. The love that you're missing from other people is the love that you are. You are it. But you cannot know this if you are so tense and distracted and place yourself in the situation where you don't have it and you believe that. So give yourself a chance. And whenever something spontaneously comes in your life and you like it or love it, well, I like that. Go for it. And you will start growing love in your life. And at some point, you may be in the position to do the same thing with your relationships. Because you certainly will. You will find yourself giving and noticing that the more you give, the more you have. Like a parent that sometimes the kids may be very spoiled and they may be like, I, me, mine, and you have some kids throwing a tantrum. See the parents like, well, sometimes they are burnout, but many times they are to say how someone could give so much for someone who's just obviously not giving you anything, at least in the moment. Well, because you know as a parent, you know that even when your kid wouldn't love you back, you still love them. And that love keeps you alive. So hopefully with this video, I'm convincing you to change the illusion back. You're not receiving anything from anyone when you feel love. You are just opening yourself to the appreciation of the presence of other humans or anything suggesting you, if relationships seem too difficult for you, start appreciating everything. Start nurturing and give attention to everything you love. And little by little, you're going to start cracking it. And one day, you will feel that you're free from any relationship. Everything that you're doing is not because you're hoping that someone gives you something back, but you feel that you just want to give it. You have so much love to give. And that love is impersonal. It doesn't even belong to you. So in that sense, sometimes when people say, I have so much love to give, okay, just give it. Give it. Give it to everyone and everything. And you will become independent. Independent forever. Like, you know, you will always feel love no matter what. And that's your freedom. That's the biggest superpower anyone can have. To know that everything will be fine always. Because you are what you're looking for. Just need to relax a little bit from the craving, from the desperation, from the sense that you're not right and you need something. You could be alone and feel at peace. Always. And only from there you can really love. Because only from there, only when you see that other people are you, only then you really love someone, yourself and others. Everything, everyone is the same. When you practically react from that standpoint, you will feel the never-ending wave of love, all these waves of love all the time around you. You will say, yeah, of course you can be surfing all the time. But you need to disentangle your mind from your mind, your attention, your awareness. Just let it sink back into the understanding that everything you see is yourself, and your relationships are just mirrors. So don't be afraid. You have everything you want. You have everything you need to be happy always. The fact that you don't always see that clearly doesn't mean anything. It's just as long as you're thinking, there is a problem. If you have the courage to trust and be fearless, only then you will discover that the love you wanted has been always there, and it will be always there. Not just in your heart, but everywhere. Like, everything is love.